you wanna make some money online, you better listen to a mentor friend of mine. Well, pretty soon you're gonna know this song, as well as Dan Rain's Pretty Pink Thong. Adele is gonna teach you some skill until you've made your first $10 bill. It's the only place to be this year. That's the 30-day challenge. That's the 30-day challenge online. Okay, boys and girls, we're going to do it again, okay? Now follow the words on the screen. Are you ready? Here we go. If you wanna make some money online, you better listen to a mentor friend of mine. Well, pretty soon you're gonna know this song, as well as Dan Rain's Pretty Pink Thong. Adele is gonna teach you some skill until you've made your first $10 bill. It's the only place to be this year. That's the 30-day challenge. That's the 30-day challenge online.
That's so ridiculous. We're here being the pimpiest of the pimp, and we want to talk about street team. So we've hit the streets to talk about the 30-day challenge street team. And we've got a couple of very cool competitions, one which we want to talk to you about right now. And of course we've got the magnificent Pete Williams, aka Manhunt, to talk about a logo that we want, because we want to do some merchandise for a really good cause. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we want to produce some caps and some hoodies and some t-shirts and things that everyone can wear to just say they love the 30-day challenge and the street team. And all the money that comes raised by that is going to be going to Kiva, the foundation and charity that we're from.
Now, the Kiva thing, I don't know if you guys know, but last year we raised a bunch of money to support Kiva, and this charity is very close to my heart. It's about micro-lending. And the thing about the micro-lending is it lends people in third world countries small loans so that they can actually start their own businesses and get on their own feet instead of suffering at the fates of the loan sharks and the horrific circumstances that they have in trying to make money. And so it's been an astounding story, because I don't have the exact stats to hand. I think we've got something like 96 loans out currently. We've had a 0% default rate, which is amazing, and we've literally had a couple of hundred projects right around the world. So not only do the money go to a great cause, it actually increases, and we can get to use it again and again and again. So it's a fantastic charity idea. We're going to do a whole bunch of other things when it comes to doing the 30-day challenge and with Kiva this year. It's something we really love.
Fantastic.
So a street team logo. Now, if for nothing else, in terms of the competition, we will give you at least a free month inside the immediate edge for coming up with the winning logo, as judged by Manhunt Steve Pete Williams.
Yep, so all you have to do at the bottom of the video is an email link. If you just submit your logo designs to that email, how long do you get? A week?
Yeah, a week.
You've got a week from when the video goes up to submit your entry. And the best one will be used on the hats and the jumpers and the t-shirts and things, and will be worn all around the world.
Yeah, so keep it real.
Yo.
Yo, yo. There we are, welcome back. Look at that, high-tech opening to the show. How fancy pants. Welcome everybody. We have just 10 days to go. We are officially in T-10 period. And for those veterans, you know what that means? It means pre-season now gets really serious. The good news is there's hardly any more technical lessons to go. The rest of the pre-season is going to be about teams, about getting set. We're going to interview some very famous 30-day challengers, some now very wealthy 30-day challengers, and some people who have just had amazing experiences with 30-day challenge to really get you set. And it's time to whip up the enthusiasm and get as many people as we can. Some very, very dear friends in the internet marketing community you're about to unleash for the 30-day challenge, which is wonderful of them, and it's all for a really, really good cause. As we talked about in the video there, we discussed a charity which is very dear to my heart, and it's called Kiva, and I think I mentioned in the little pre-video there. I hope you like the pre-video. Going to be a lot more of those inside the 30-day challenge. Kiva is based on a concept which a guy called Wakar Yunus, who is now a Nobel Prize winner, and I read his book years ago. It was called Banker to the Poor. In fact, I'm sure if I look over there, it'll be just over there, and it's an awesome book. And basically what he came up with the idea, and it's the he came up with a concept called the Grameen Bank in Bangladesh, because what was happening in Bangladesh was that people, to be able to make the products that they were trying to make, say a basket for example, they would have to borrow money from a money lender to actually get the right money to be able to buy the goods, which coincidentally they had to buy the goods off the money lender as well. And it was at horrific rates of interest, like 20% a day sort of thing. So people were kept in this incredible cycle of poverty. And what he realized, what Wakar Yunus realized, is that if he actually was able to provide the loan, and we're talking about tiny, tiny amounts of money, this is why it's called micro lending, by just being able to lend somebody a couple of dollars but not charge extortionate interest rates, all of a sudden they could have a real business and they could actually get themselves out of this cycle of poverty. Now, this actually, and in and amongst it, a bit like the 30-day challenge in the sense that, you know, a lot of things, I suppose, evolved. And what was brilliant about this is in the Grameen Bank in particular, this has now grown to be a huge, massive organisation in Bangladesh, and so they have their own telecommunications company. They're the largest telecommunications company in Bangladesh. They're the biggest bank in Bangladesh, and it's all based out of this microlending concept. Their repayment rates are actually higher than actual traditional normal banks, and the way that they approve loans is absolutely brilliant, because basically, and women, you're going to love this, is that only women can approve the loans. So in each community there's the group of women which are made up of the people, the money is lent to the women, and they actually, everybody who lends money is made up, they are the people who approve the loans, and they have to get to a group, and you have to sort of pitch, if you will, using my terminology, the loan to the other group of women, and then they decide whether somebody gets the loan or not. And we're talking about tiny amounts of money. And the concept has been extraordinarily successful, and I love it, because just like the 30-day challenge is not just giving you the fish and say buzz off, we really want to teach you how to fish. The 30-day challenge is all about you starting up a small business. Yes, we talk about focusing on making $1. That's our goal for the month. But the reality is we are setting you up with the fundamentals to start your own business. So it's not just make $1 and throw away whatever you've done at the end of the month. As successful 30-day challenges, and there are now hundreds of them, have done, you start with $1. But what all those fundamentals and everything that we're building up is all about building you a business. A small business that hopefully grows into a big business. That's what we're doing, and I really wanted to point that out. Now with Kiva, as a charity, and we just adore Kiva because they've, and I've got to credit Dan the Man Rain, who was with us tonight on chat. Good on you, Dan. He has been working like the dog's bollocks, as he would say. Actually, he wouldn't say that at all. I just completely made that up. But Dan actually found Kiva. I had not heard about them, and basically they had taken a Web 2.0 approach to this whole concept of micro-lending, so that individuals could lend, say, $20, and that would go to a farmer in, you know, Azerbaijan, and they would buy a cow with that. They would get milk and they would pay back the loan. So your $100, you know, most charities you pay $100 and it goes and, you know, it does something, hopefully very good, but that's it, it's gone. Whereas with Kiva, they pay you back, because they're not loaning for charity, they're loaning to create a business, and whether that's buying a cow so they can sell milk, or, you know, buy the cow and then have meat and then buy another cow. This is what they do. Now, we started supporting Kiva in the 30-day challenge last year, and we had a charity auction which Manhunk Pete Williams put together, and it was very successful. It was extremely, it was a lot of hard work for Pete, and we really appreciate putting it in. But in the end, I think we raised $10,000, a bit more than that actually, I think it was, which we put into Kiva. And, you know, it's funny, only the other day we sort of thought, well, you know, how's that been doing? And the stats are extraordinary. We've loaned out so far $6,000. We are in the top 30-day challenges, because this is really you guys. We are in the top 0.1% of lenders. We are one of the biggest lenders inside of Kiva. We currently have 96 loans out already, so we've helped 96 people start businesses. This is currently, we've had a couple of hundred over the course of the year, and get this, 100% payback. We have not had one dud loan. And to me, I think that just embodies the whole spirit of what we are doing at the 30-day challenge. And that's why we were big supporters of it, and that's why we really want to promote that. We're actually going to be working with Kiva this year, and it's fantastic. You know, we've got some great people on board, and Ustream are also going to be on board with us this year, which is just wonderful. It's going to be huge, and that street team, to get the word out about not only the good works we're doing for all of you, but also we're going to be making a difference by being able to be effectively venture capitalists to a whole bunch of people in parts of the world where they are living in poverty, not because they don't have the talent or the skill, it's because basically they're being stood over by extortionate moneylenders, and that is how it has always been. It's just, it is a brilliant charity. We love it. It's the whole concept of the 30-day challenge, which is instead of giving the person the fish, teach them how to fish. Love it. So really, we're going to do a bunch of activities to support that. We'll have another auction this year, and again, I've got to say, my fellow IM mates have been fantastic. Wait till you see some of the auction items that we have for you this year. It's really going to be spectacular. So there we have it. Now we've got 10 days to go. 10 sleeps till it's all happening again. It's crazy. And so, as I said, we're going to start to now turn away from the tools. We've got one more tool lesson that I want to show you. I love using the word tool. You cannot use the word tool enough in live broadcasts, in my opinion. But in these 10 days, we're going to really want to start focusing on what goes on up here. Because as much as I hate the woo-woo guffy, you know, let's all hug and, you know, let's all massage each other's shoulders stuff, not really into that. At the end of the day, the thing that will stop you being successful in the 30-day challenge is not the techniques. Because really, if you take your time and step through, watch the videos. If you watch the videos a dozen times, you use the amazing forum. And for a lot of you who are brand new to the 30-day challenge, you may not have even had the time to check out the forum yet. You know, we've got this incredible, extraordinary forum of people who are just there to help you get through all of the technical challenges. It's really, you know, looking at the technical side of things. That's not the stuff. That's not the stuff that's going to stop you. It's what's up here that's going to stop you. Because, boy, and I know it, trying to do anything for 30 days is a huge achievement in and of itself. I mean, I was talking to Rick Butts, and he was trying to do some sort of tantric yoga thing and trying to commit to it for 30 days. My goodness, he tried hard. He tried to Ustream it, but it was just even he didn't quite make it. And I'm joking about that. Rick is a good sport. But seriously, getting that through, and so it's what happens up here is going to be the difference between you being successful or not, because I don't know about you guys, but and a few of you would have heard me say this, but when I was a kid, it may surprise you to know that I occasionally got into trouble. And I remember at one particular dastardly scheme that I'd gotten myself involved in. I remember praying to the deity of my choice, and I said, look, I swear, this time, if I can just get through this, I'm going to be good, and I'm never going to get into trouble again. And funnily enough, what happens is that something else does happen, and you inevitably get in trouble. And I realised that indeed life, starting a small business, taking a business that's been going and then trying to make it work again, it's just a series of brick walls. And really, at the end of the day, your choice has got to be one of, do you let the wall stop you, or do you figure out a way to get around it or smash through it or whatever? And that is really what I want to be working on in these next 2 weeks, by giving you plenty of examples, because I think the most powerful way to do that is not me sitting up here and extorting you to get what is going on, as Molly goes banana-rama in the downstairs there. Sorry about that. But we've got this whole process, I think, of rather than me telling you, I think it's better for other people who've been in exactly your position telling you, because I think that is a lot more relevant. So that's what we're going to be doing. To that end, we're going to be talking a lot about teams. Now, I really, really, really encourage you to join a team. Now, I know that there's about 10% of the population who is so anti-team and anti the whole concept of team that they don't want to have anything to do with it. I understand that. In fact, last year I think we had a Facebook group where we had a team for people who didn't want to be in teams, because as I've consistently, when we first started the 30-day challenge, the reason I did the 30-day challenge in the first place, the very first time, was to teach the concept of teams. Because when Frank and I had been teaching the underachiever stuff, which we were teaching at the time, we just forgot. We forgot this key element of successful internet marketing and starting a small business. And that successful element that was common across the board, and it same holds true today, is that we really do it as part of a team. Everything I do in internet marketing is part of a team. There's a team involved. And we kept forgetting to teach that. When we first did our very first niche businesses online, when we did those very first businesses, we used to meet every single Wednesday at the State Library in Victoria. Every Wednesday, Eugene Ware of Market Samurai fame, boy, remember those two words, Market Samurai, unbelievable. But Eugene was there, and we'd religiously turn up every week while we were creating our products. We were all doing our own thing, but we would have a physical meetup, and that was so important. That support system for what's going on up here was so useful, because there's so many different ways. Way one, you felt a little bit more accountable. You didn't want to turn up the next Wednesday to the meeting and not have done anything because you look like a doofus. Because here's the thing about one of the ways your brain works, is that it really does want to do the best for you. It really does. It wants to do its best for you, and it tries to keep you out of trouble and tries to give you stuff that you want. It's got a very simple function in that sense. And if it can do anything to avoid you looking silly, then it will. And that's why the accountability of a team is a very powerful thing, because it doesn't want you to be silly, and it gives you an extraordinary amount of motivation. I've got to say there was a little bit of competition too, and that was good because somebody would see, oh look, that person's just done their sales letter, I haven't done my sales letter yet, and that was a bit of a motivation. So there was a bit of carrot in teams, there's a bit of stick in teams. And so when we started out way back in 2005, it wasn't that you could happily create a business, a large business that was, you know, making you a significant amount of money just by yourself. That was just the way it was. Now, if we fast forward to 2008, and you've heard me say this a few times, internet marketing in 2008, starting a small business online in 2008 is a team sport. It's the facts. For a couple of reasons. Reason one, sure, you could start, and look, I'm sure there will be exceptions that prove the rule, where somebody could actually do all this stuff and be very happy, make a very good living, and so on. But with the techniques we're going to be showing you in the 30-day challenge, it'll get you started, but to continue on, and remember, we're not showing you some tricks in the 30-day challenge that will just get you over the line and make you $1. That's, anybody can do that. That's a cinch. What's far more useful, I think, and far more valuable is in those 30 days, not only are we going to show you your first $1 because we want you to feel like this is a real business, because let's face it, it's not a real business, folks, till you've seen a transfer of money from customer to you. That's what it's all about. We need to have that transfer. No transfer, no ticky, no washi. So, if that's the case, we need that for the motivation, but the facts are we're building a foundation for a business that will grow and grow and grow. And we're doing exactly the same work we would if we were tracking a multi-million-dollar market as we would if we're tracking a market that's going to make us $500 a month. It's exactly the same. Reason? Why not? If it's no harder, and wait till you see market research this year, you're going to blow your socks off, then why? Why not do it? However, when it comes, unfortunately or fortunately, because of the number of things we need to do as a small business online to be able to successfully own the marketplace that you're in, it's too easy for competitors to sneak through any number of different doors. So to really truly own a market and to make it really big is you need to have a team, because no one individual person can hope, even, you know, staying up 24 hours a day and just drinking Red Bull and having a rotten lettuce in your fridge, even a person of that quality and caliber cannot do things alone in 2008. So teams are really important now from the perspective of, as you go forward, don't worry. You'll be able to make your first $1 by yourself. There's no question of that. What I'm saying is that as you earn money and as your business grows, you will want to bring on members of the team. Now, those teams can be any number of things. They can be people that you outsource, they can be staff eventually, they can be your 30-day challenge teammates and you just decide to do a cooperative and help each other out. Many different ways to go forward, but the facts are, and I just want to be upfront with you, creating a small business, and which hopefully grows into a medium or a big business online, or helping support your real world business online, eventually will require a team. And that's cool, because it's, people associate team and staff with huge cost, huge overhead and so on. Rubbish. Doesn't need to be the case at all. So that's teams and parts of teams, and we'll be talking about some tools and some stuff that you can do with teams, and hopefully you've already seen, and if you haven't looked at last week, we released a new friend feed lesson. I'd love you to go back and have a look at that friend feed lesson that we just released. It'll be in the friend feed section of the pre-season, because in that we've got a whole bunch of detail on how to use friend feed rooms, for example, and I don't know if people have done that, but you've got extraordinary capacity inside a friend feed, for example, to help you run your team. Twitter is such a huge, very cool tool for keeping in touch with your team. And I hope, and we'll show you how over the course of the next couple of weeks how to do that. All right, what's very cool as we head into this T-10 is you're going to be noticing a few changes. One is you'll notice that we'll be doing this a lot more, because during the month of August we'll be doing this every night. Well, every week night, although for you guys it'll be from Sunday to Thursday night. We'll be on and we'll be supporting people, and we'll have guests, and we'll have the whole thing as part of what is a huge effort. And so we'll be starting to ramp up the schedule of shows, trying to keep them short, but as we get forward, let you know about certain things. There's a whole bunch of events coming up. For example, people have started organising meetups. This is where, shocking upon shock, we actually get out of the house, get out in front of the computer, and go and meet our fellow 30-day challengers. And this is a new innovation for this year. I think it's a big part of National Writers Month, which is what I initially got the idea for the 30-day challenge on. And it's one of the downsides of creating a small business online is you can, it can be isolating. Even though we're doing this sort of stuff, there's still a disconnect. And so, and often you try to explain to, relatives, friends, buds, mates, about what you're doing, and they sort of look at you all funny and weird. Okay, whatever. Good-o, as my mother would say. And it's nice to be able to communicate and connect with your peers in a particular industry. And I think part of that, of having a meetup, like where you literally physically meet, is a brilliant idea. And I can see Karen Kramer, thank you Karen, has put up and of course being typical Web 2.0, there are a couple of brilliant sites which can help you organize these things. Now, there are two that I recommend. There is, the first one is meetup.com, which is www.meetup.com. And there's also one called upcoming.com. Now, I particularly like upcoming.com because it actually integrates beautifully into friend feed. So you sort of get huge bang for your buck. But what I would encourage you to do is, in your towns across America, across Europe, across Australia and Asia, is have meetups. Now, I know that on August 1, the infamous, I should say, Manchester mob will be having a special Manchester 30-day challenge launch party on August the 1st. There will also, I know that Andrew Nesbitt is organising one in Brisbane. I'm not sure of the dates. There's also, and we'll announce dates very shortly, we'll be also having a meetup in Melbourne as well for kicking off the 30-day challenge. And hopefully we'll be able to do some broadcasting from some of these events as well. So it's a great opportunity for people. Now, you don't have to be in the same team, of course, to meet up, although it's lovely if you do happen to meet up. Although, I think part of the fun of the 30-day challenge is working with other people around the globe, because I just think that broadens out the experience enormously. But it's a great opportunity for you to meet fellow challengers and catch up and do all of those sorts of things. And yeah, it would be just brilliant. So I really, really encourage that, particularly veterans. If you want to host a little, meetup, you just need to, crash a local Starbucks. We've taken over a couple of Starbucks in our time. So it's a really good thing that I'd really encourage you to do, and we'll be trying to support that on the forums. Now, forums. And I've just realised I haven't done, it's a case of physician heal thyself, because I need to make this change. But I want to talk to you about the 30-day challenge forum for a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the screen, and I want to show you a couple of things. I'll bring up my trusty Flock browser here. Just give me a moment. Okay. Now. Okay. Sorry about that. We had a bit of a little bit of a hiccup there. Okay. Live video. All right. Sorry about this, folks. I had something teed up and it is not teeing up at all, so my apologies about that. Okay, so let me talk to you about the forum, and we'll do a video to show you this. One of the things that we want to do with the 30-day challenge forum this year is make it very useful after the 30 days. We want it to be one of your homes to discuss creating a small business online, creating a business online, internet marketing, and so on. So we're going to loosen the rules about discussion, but what we're going to do, and you'll see the changes occurring over the course of the next week, is we're going to create different sections. So there'll be a 30-day challenge section where we talk specifically about 30-day challenge stuff and the various lessons for each day. And then we're going to have a more general internet marketing forum where you can discuss things that are happening in terms of internet marketing and creating a business online. That's what we're going to be doing, and I think you'll really appreciate those changes. As part of these changes in opening up the forum like this, we also need to sort of change the rules a little bit in terms of the way people use the forum. And the most significant one, and I think people are going to like, I think this is a solution, and again I'll credit Andrew Nesbitt with coming up with this idea because it really is, I think, a killer idea. See, on one hand, you know, people want to promote various things that they're doing online and internet marketing and all that sort of thing. On the other hand, people want to be sure of people's motivations. Are they truly trying to promote this thing because they use it, like it, and love it? Or are they doing it because they're getting some money or a commission? And it's a real problem, and well, we as a community have struggled with that over the course of the few years, and basically the way we've done it previously is have a blanket ban. However, that doesn't sort of work either, because we want to encourage participation. So what we've come up with, we, Andrew, and I've claimed it, is that the signature rules are going to change, and we'll have a grace period over the next 7 days or so, because I just realised I haven't changed mine yet. But what we're going to do is you're going to have the ability to put in a quote, because we love quotes. I love those quotes on the signatures. They're always really interesting and fascinating. But then, and I think this is really cool, is the link I want you to have is the link to your friend feed. Okay, so the link to your friend feed site. Now this is cool for a whole bunch of reasons. If you contribute to the forum and you have lots of interesting comment and putting interesting information in, people will want to subscribe to your friend feed. Now, if you want to promote something, or you're an affiliate for something, or you're creating your own product, or whatever it happens to be, then you can go for you, do what you want on your friend feed. It's up to you. You have to decide what people who are following you on friend feed will be interested or not interested in. Now, I was going to bring it up because Asbjorn's already done it as an example. It's just friend feed, because here's the thing, and I saw Mindy your question there, here's the thing, when you set up friend feed properly, your Twitter, your Facebook, everything's there, everything's in there, so it's a one-stop shop for you to promote anything that you want to people to do. So if they want to follow you on Twitter, they can click and go to friend feed and follow you. What it avoids, and we're seeing a little bit of this creeping in, is these, you know, big long signatures and all of these sorts of things. So I realise I've got to change. I've just got to go in straight after this and change mine. But I think it's going to be an absolute brilliant way of doing things, and I think it's fair to everybody. I think it keeps the forum clean and interesting, but also gives people the opportunity to promote stuff. Like, I know Carolyn Middlebrook, for example, has just produced 30-day challenger for last year, just started doing the 30-day challenge. She's got a great course on StumbleUpon, for example, which is really cool. And that would be a classic example where if people were following her, you know, they would notice that she had a course inside her friend feed, which is lovely. And so that's a cool way to do things, I think. What else have we got here? Okay, we've done that. We have done our talked about our lessons. As I said, there's only one more lesson. It's going to be on sort of getting the video and doing everything. You'll be pleased to know that 30-day challenge is now officially iPhone ready. In fact, I was using it up in Sydney yesterday, which is very, very cool. So I was able to follow everything, and of course with iPhones, YouTube videos that are embedded inside a page actually show inside the page now, which is very, very cool. So that is all for today. I encourage you to start spreading the word and letting people know about this year's challenge. Usually, traditionally, the last 10 days is when most people actually join up, which is a frightening concept. It's going to be huge. I was reviewing, the lab has done an extraordinary job in putting together the 30-day program this year. I think it's going to, as I say, this year, more than any other year, I think, inside the 30-day challenge is about you creating a business for yourself. I was speaking to some people in a big corporate meeting yesterday in Sydney, and for some reason people think that what we do online is not a business. For some reason, it's like, because it's online, it's not real. Because it's not, you haven't got a garage full of mechanics and parts. For some reason, it's not a real thing, and it's just rubbish. I mean, it's just total toss. You spend X, you put in X effort and X money, you do something with it, and hopefully at the end comes Y, and hopefully Y is worth more than the combined efforts of money and your efforts, X, and you have a profitable business. Same online, it's exactly the same stuff. And I just am surprised that for some reason people disconnect and don't think it's real, and it's nuts. The money you earn online is as good at your local 7-Eleven as the money you earn from your suit business, and in some ways I think it's incredibly more valuable, because you don't have overhead, you don't have to have a whole bunch of staff that you pay permanently, all these sorts of things that make it such a positive thing. So I noticed we've just gone 30 odd minutes. So what we're going to do is we'll do our typical, we'll have our little break, and then we'll come back and we'll do questions and answers. Hopefully, I think Caro has been grabbing some questions, or if she wants to grab some questions, now's the time. You can drop those in. Caro will tell you how, and we'll get ready, because it is going to be huge this year. So stay with us. We're going to the informal part of the show. I'm just going to stop recording now, so I'll just do something, a nice look